Hello guys, how are you there? Hope you're all fine. So welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to create a cookie pop-up box for a website looking like this. So as you can see, if I come in and refresh this page, you can see it takes some few delay seconds. Then it is going to show up, and when I click this one, it is going to to hide it. So also I refresh the page again and I click the close button, it is going to hide. Also I refresh again, and if I click on this reject button, it is going to hide. So we are going to see how we can create a pop-up cookie box looking like this. So before further ado guys, let's jump in. So let's jump into the session, and as you can see on my desktop, I have this folder, and inside this folder I have the images folder. As you can see, I have these two images I'm going to use inside the work. Also I have this HTML file and the CSS one. I have already opened this in the code editor, which is Visual Studio Code. So let me shift to the code editor. As you can see, this is my HTML file and this is my CSS, and I already linked the CSS file to the HTML by this line of code. Also, I have declared the general HTML code as well as the CSS general code I'm going to apply to this project. So guys, let's jump in, and now I'm going to start with the HTML code. So but before proceeding, consider subscribing to this channel guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. So let's get a start. Okay, I'm going to start with the general HTML. I'm going to apply to create such a box. So let me start with the outer class. Let me give it a container. So and inside this container, I'm going to have another. Let me give it ID. So I'm going to have another. Let me give it a let's say it is content. So I have an ID of content. Inside this content is where I'm going to put all of the contents inside this. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add the image inside this. So I'm going to declare img tag, and this img tag will be images, then it will be the cookies, and I'm going to delete this alternative text. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add a class. Let me get a class stop. And then after below this image, I'm going to declare a paragraph. So I'm going to have a paragraph, which is any content. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to also to add the another class, which I'm going to include the two buttons. So below this, I'm going to have the two class. Let me call it button class. So it will be button. And inside this, I'm going to have the two anchor tags. So the first one will be for accept. So this one will be accept. And I'm going to give it a, let me declare another here. This I'm going to make them at the button. So here, this one will be reject. So this will be reject, and I'm going to give it a class. So let me give it a class. Let me say it is class reject. Okay, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to save these changes and I'm going to refresh the page. So I save these changes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to, let me open this. Okay, after refresh the page, you can see how it look like. Walaikum salam, how it look like. So we're going to proceed with the styling. So let's come back to our code editor. Now I'm going to shift it to the CSS, and I'm going to start targeting the container. So for outer container, I'm going to give it a width. I'm going to give it some height. So let me declare the words, which is now 100%, and I'm going to give the height, which will be full screen, 100 VH. What I'm going to do also, I'm going to align all the items inside this at the center. So I'm going to display flex. So the display will be flex, and I'm going to align items will be center, and I also am going to justify content. Justify content will be center. This is what it's going to do. It is going to align all the items inside this container at the center. So also I'm going to give it a background. So the background color for this one will be Okay, what we're going to do right now, I'm going to shift in there. I'm going to target the ID, this ID here. So to target the ID, I'm going to start with the hash, then I'm going to say content. Okay, for this, what I'm going to do also, I'm going to give it a max width. So the maximum width for this will be this 400 pixels, and I'm going to give it a background color. So let me give it a white. Also, I'm going to copy this and I just come and paste here. And this is going to align it is going to align the items horizontally. I'm going to change the flex direction. So the flex direction will be column. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it a padding. So let's give it a padding of 30 pixels, and I'm going to set the border radius for this. So border radius, let me give, let's say it is 20 pixels, and let's give it a box shadow. So the box shadow for this will be 3 pixels, 3 pixels, also 3 pixels, and then the color for this box shadow will be black. Okay, let me position it relative. So I'm going to add the position. So position will be relative. Okay, after I've finished this, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to reduce the size of this image, this cookie image. So now I'm going to target, because I gave it a class top, so I'm going to target the class top. So first I'm going to target the ID, which is content, and I'm going to say inside the content is the class, which is top. For this class, give it a width and a height. So let's say give it a width of 8 pixels, as well give it a height of 8 pixels, and what we want also, give it a space from bottom. So our margin from bottom will be 30 pixels. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to target the paragraph, this one. So for paragraph, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say also content, then paragraph. For this paragraph, I'm going to increase the font size. So the font size will be 17 pixels. And then as well, I'm going to set the line height. So the line height will be 1.5. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to give it a margin from bottom. So the margin bottom for this one will be also 30 pixels. And I'm going to add this, let me say at this container here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare the, let's say, let me add something here. Let's come here and say want all the text at this inside this class to appear at the center. So this is a paragraph, and what I'm going to do next, I'm going to style the anchor tags. So because I want to make them as a button, so let me say this will be content. So anchor tag inside this content ID, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start this, and I'm going to start with the text declaration, which will be none for this. Okay, as well, I'm going to set the font size to 17 pixels, and I'm going to set the font weight, the boldness of the text. So the font weight will be 600. Also, I'm going to give it a background. So let me say the background for this, give it a background which is, this is 0. So this one is 0, and I'm going to put this one 100. So this is a background for this, and I'm going to set the color text. The color text, it is, give it a white. Let's give it a, to give the margin. So to leave the space between them, the margin will be, let's say it is 15 pixels, and I'm going to set the padding because I want them to make the bottom. So to leave the space, So the padding will be 15 pixels for top and bottom, and also set a pixel for left and right. Also I'm going to set the cursor to pointer. Okay, now let me save these changes and then refresh the page. Now you can see how it look like. So we need to add some some styling, some more styling to this button because we want to change the background of this. Also we need to make the close icon here. So let's come back. So to change, first I'm going to change the background of the second button, but if you come here to the HTML file, you can see that this second button, I declare a class for it, which is reject class. So now I'm going to target the reject class. So first I'm going to say the content, then it will be reject, then I'm going to set the background for this. So let's say background, let's give it late. Okay, let me save these changes. Okay, now you can see it is already done. Let you add the close icon here. So add the close icon, then come back to the HTML file, and then below this button class, I'm going to declare image tag. So it will be img tag. For this img tag, I'm going to add the path for this image will be close, and I'm going to delete this alternative text. And then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to let me give it a class. So let me say this class close. Then let me say these changes. Come and refresh the page to see how it will look like. You can see let's position it. So let's shift to the CSS file now. I'm going to target the close will be content. So dot content dot close. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to give it a width of 10 pixels. I'm going to give it a height of 10 pixels, and I'm going to position it. So let's position absolute, and I'm going to say that the position from right, let me give it a 25. Let's say this 10 pixels, and I'm going also to position from the top, it should also be 20 pixels. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set the cursor to pointer, and I'm going to set the background. So let me give it a background, which will be this one. Let me save these changes, and if I come back and I refresh the page, you can see it is look as we intend. So let's add the delay, so because we want it to appear and somehow to disappear. So let's do this by adding the script, simple JavaScript. Let's come back to this HTML, but before let me come here to this content, and first I'm going to set the display to none. Okay, let me save these changes. I come back to this page because first we want to hide it. After hiding, then we're going to declare the JavaScript code to show it after certain delay. So let's come back to our HTML file, and then now I'm going to declare script. So before the closing of the body tag, let me declare script. And this is script. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let me declare a variable. So we're going to target this content ID. So let's say content will be is equal to this document dot get element by ID, which our ID here now it is going to be this content, because the ID we target is this one, because this is the box, outer box, it is content, so we need to make the it to appear and disappear, so we are targeting this ID. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to declare a function. So me let me start to declare a function. So I'm going to declare a function, and then for this function I'm going to say, let's give it a display box, and then for this display box I'm going to declare these lines of code. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to set the timeout. So let's say timeout, and for this set timeout I'm going to have this. So I'm going to have this, and then I'm going to set the interval. So set the time interval, just come there before this closing parenthesis and declare the interval. So let me declare maybe 2 seconds, because this is in term of, it is measured in milliseconds. So if we add this in, it is means 2 seconds here. So now let me say, now I'm going to target the content. So the content, so dot style, then dot display here we are going to display the box, which will be now display, our display will be block. Okay, what we're going to do, writing this JavaScript code here, it is not enough to make the box appear. What we are going to do, we are going to, here on the body tag, and there we're going to say on load. So we want to, whenever we load the page, then to call this function here. Let's come and declare this function and paste it here. So let me save these changes and allow it come and refresh the page. You can see it takes some 2 seconds, take 2 seconds to delay, then it come to show up. But when I click this and this, nothing is going to do here. So let's add the JavaScript code to make the click event for this and this one. So now I'm going to declare another function. So after closing this function, let me declare another function, and in this function, let me call it hide box. Let me call it hide box. And for this function, we are going to do something simple, which is copy this line of code, just come and paste it here. But what we're going to do here, instead of display block, then we're going to say here display none. Okay, but also if we let this line of code, it is not enough to make the to make this event to function. So what we are going to do, we are going to call this function. So let me call this hide function. To call it the hide function, we are going to target, because we want, whenever the user click this close button, so we are going to set on a click event for this, then call hide box function. Also, we are going to target this reject, so we're going to add on a click event for this one also. So on a click, also we're going to call the same function, as well I'm going to call the same function for this button. Let me call the same function, and then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to also, it is done. So let me save these changes, and I come back to refresh the page again. Okay, as normal, it takes 2 seconds to delay, but when I click this, it is going to disappear. So let me refresh again, and then when I click this, it is going to disappear. Let me refresh again. Once again, you can see when I click on the close button, also it disappears. So this is all about this video. Consider subscribing, guys. So if you like this video, give it thumbs up, and let me see you in the next video.